Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you day 25 of the hashtag Art Journal Habit 2018 challenge, plus the monthly Pick a Stick Challenge artist trading card. I'm combining the two because it's such a crazy month. So I'm starting out with the ATC, which is a small piece of art, 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and mine is of course cut out of watercolor paper. And step one for the ATC challenge this month of November was decopauge. So I got some music note paper. By the way, the prompt for hashtag Art Journal Habit 2018 for this day is note. So when I thought about note, I thought about music notes, and I had recently had a conversation with my kid about reading music and trying to explain to him about whole notes and half notes and quarter notes and 16th notes, and how things are in certain beats, like 4 beats to a measure, those type of things. And so that's what prompted this page, was this teaching moment I was trying to have with my kid, which he didn't really understand at all. But he's trying to learn to play the bass guitar, and I was just trying to explain to him how reading music works. Of course, with guitars, apparently this day you don't need to read music because they have these fret numbering things lists that you can get, and you just follow along with those numbers, which I guess tells you where to put your fingers on the fretboard, and you don't even have to read music. But I still think that you need to understand timing and keys and all that type of stuff. But anyway, he doesn't think so. So whatever. So I continued on the decoupage step with my page. This is out of the junk journal that I made for this challenge, which is made out of literal junk mail. And so, of course, it's got a little bit of gesso on it, and I'm just covering the whole background with this paper in different coordinating colors. These are all gel print paper, and made in different ways. One of them was done with a stencil, one of them was done with baby powder, and then another one was done masking with vinyl, strips of vinyl. And if I remember, I'll put links to some of those videos in the iCards above, so you can go and watch how I made those papers. So then the next step in the list was glue, which I did anyway, but I decided to replace that with the wild card step, which was pencil. And pencil I was drawing with, so that makes sense, right? I was drawing with a pencil. Pretty obvious. And I'm making a treble clef, and what I'm doing is making it on some deli paper as a pattern, and drawing over it with a black pen so that I can see through the paper when I glue this onto a piece of that red jelly printed paper. And I glue it on the back upside down so that when I cut it out, it will be right side up. And then, of course, I proceed to cut away all the excess paper to make my shape. This is something I do often with paper painting, but in this case, it's just literally cutting out a piece of paper, making my own pattern, and gluing it to the back so that I can see where the lines are and I can cut it out. It's easier than trying to draw the treble clef backwards on the back of the paper. I didn't want to draw backwards. It just didn't sound fun at all. So I just did it on deli paper, flipped it upside down, and glued it to the back, and then I could cut out the paper. Now, the color for this month's ATC challenge is maroon, which is a dark red. And so I got some of this fired brick ink. It's the Distress Oxide ink out, and went around the edges of my paper, and filling in some of the areas where the gel print that I had picked had a little bit of a empty area on it. So I filled that in, and then went around the edges of my page as well with this fired brick color, which is kind of close to maroon. Maroon might be a little bit more of a blue color than this. This is a little bit too red, but it was the only ink color that I had handy that fit the challenge, I thought. So then now I'm going to draw a bass clef, which is a different shape. These things have to do with music and sheet music, and that's what this whole page is about. So I managed to tear it as I was cutting it out, but that doesn't matter because I'm just going to glue it down to the page anyway with some more glossy collage medium, which is the whole decopauge step, you know, still. It made the page shiny in the end because it was the glossy type, but it's all good. And then, of course, you have to have the two little dots next to that clef, so I put those on as well, all cut out of the sheet music paper. So I've handled maroon, and I've handled also glue and pencil, both, really, if you want to be technical about it. So then, again, going around my ATC, and then I'm going to glue it on a black background. I like to do this on my ATCs. I think it gives them a frame, and I just trim the ATC down slightly smaller and then cut a piece of black cardstock, the 2.5 by 3.5 size, and that makes a really nice frame around the artwork on the artist trading card. So now I have a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to draw a piece of, you know, what you would have on sheet music, the bars that you would have on sheet music for drawing notes when you're trying to make the type of music that you read. So then I trimmed that piece down on my big guillotine cutter to make the lines real straight, and cut it into pieces so that I could make these little drawings of a whole note and some half notes and some quarter notes and some eighth notes, which are the ones that I was trying to teach my kid the other night. Of course, there's more notes than these, but these were the ones I was trying to explain. So then once these little drawings are made, I glue them down onto my page, as well as gluing my ATC on my page. Just a quick page, you know. Trying to do these things quickly this month so that I can get through all of it. So once they're all glued on, I write what they are onto the little pieces at the top. I make the bars that you would have on the edges of sheet music, and then write the words of what they are. Of course, on the last one, I meant it to say eighth notes, but it says 16th notes. But, you know, that's what they are. Open circle with a line, filled in circle with a line, and filled in circle with a line with a flag. Those are just symbols that you would see on sheet music. So then for my final step, Playful, I glued on googly eyes because, you know, what's more playful than googly eyes? And I turned these treble clef and bass clef into little characters like you might see in maybe a children's book about reading music or understanding the symbols of music. And I think they're cute. They're like cute little characters. I drew some mouths on them and some hair on the one at the top that's on my ATC. And I think that fulfills the step of Playful. So I've covered note, plus I've covered all the steps on the ATC for the month of November. So I think I'm done with this page. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've been enjoying this series all this month, every day. And I am on to the next page as soon as this is done. If you have been enjoying it, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, you can share this with someone who likes cute pages about music notes. I also went around the edges like I do on most of these with an ink pad, and then it was complete. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.